Just waiting for everybody to join in, so bear with me for a minute. Checking messages really quick before I get going here. Should be, that number right there should be changing here momentarily. I'm just waiting for a minute longer like usual to get started. And I do have my camera kind of kicked off, a little bit off of center because I'm going to have some company directly behind me over here this evening, but he won't be here for a little bit longer. But I just kind of kicked it off to the side so he's not, you can't see him as obviously in the background. So just waiting for, as usual, for that number to change. Or if anybody's in the chat, you can mention that you can hear me or whatever. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice, good to hear. Yeah, I figured it was something just, something was just weird, but never clicked notifications so fast. Yeah, this is for Earth Month, yeah. So we'll go ahead and get started. I know there's people already in the chat, even though that number over there hasn't updated, but we'll go ahead and get started. So first things first, as always, with the bosses. Let me move this over here. With the bosses, as usual, we're going to have images of the armor looks and stuff. So hang on one second. Go back upstairs. Go back upstairs. Go get in bed. Close the door, please. Sorry, my grandson decided to come in. He decided to come in and tell me that he was going to sleep now. Close the door, Magnus. Go to bed. Bored kid. And he couldn't close the door, so he kept trying to close it and trying to close it. Anyway. All right. So where were we? All right. So boss. So this is boss number 1. I believe that's Earth and Air. I could be wrong, but it looks Earth and Air. That looks also like a brand new boss. That one, well, here's a funny thing also, by the way. There's 3 bosses. Don't know why yet, but there's 3. And that is boss number 3. So this one we've seen before. This one was Leeski's Soul originally. And this is a 3rd one. So there's 3 bosses. So this one is Earth and Air, I believe. This one is Earth and Spirit, because I've looked through the files already. And this one's Earth and Water. So I don't know why there's 3 bosses, because there should only be 2. Based on the calendar, because the final raid of this month is on the 31st. And that means the raids will be the 14th and 28th. So, I don't know why there's 3 bosses. Maybe another one of these test events or something. Maybe they'll have it run for longer, I don't know. But there's 3 bosses. So, whatever that is, I don't know. So, we have boss number 1, which is this kind of shark head looking dude. Then we have this one that looks like an insect. With like, little like, what do you call those, like on lobsters? Not lobsters, what are they called? But they have the little pincers right there in the front of their mouths. And then that one, and then the last one, of course, is the Leeski's Soul. It's a reskin of that one, so we'll see that armor in just a bit. So, image number 5 is boss 1. Image number 4 is boss 2. And image number 3 is boss 3. So that, again, like always, that's not necessarily a guarantee of order. That's just the order that I named them. So I'm going to move those into my folder over here that I have prepped already. Okay, so going into the armors. Now, I checked through this earlier. Give me just a second to grab my pad of paper. So I checked into this earlier. I went through the armors and just kind of did a quick tally of what's in here. So we have 1, 2 Earth Fires, 1, 2, 3, 4 Earth Spirits, 4, 1, 2 Earth Airs. Let's see, we have the dual Earth, of course. We have 1, 2 Earth Waters, and another Starmetal. I don't know if they just decided to redo the one from last month, or this month rather. I don't know. But there's a total of 12. So first things first, we have a bunch of pets. I forgot these are the first 5. Yeah, the first 5. So let me move those really quick out of the way here. The first 5 are pets. We'll get them out of the way really quick first. Okay, so first things first, we have a reskin. There are unfortunately a number of them this month. There's 4, I think. But we have right here, this is the Shadeburn Scimitar. We also had it recently as an Earth Water, I think it was, War Armor. So this is probably going to be another War Armor. This one is Earth and Fire. There's the fire bits there, and the fire kind of speckles and stuff around. So this is the first armor, armor number 1. Move my microphone just a bit so it's not right on top of my keyboard. There we go. That's armor number 1, Earth, Fire, and I think that's male. Yeah, that's male. And there's the female right after it. Handy dandy. Okay, what is going on here? I copied, I swear I did. There we go. Stupid thing. And there's the Leeski's Soul reskin. I don't remember what the name of this armor was originally, but this was originally Leeski's Soul. It actually came out right before the armor that was named that had named it after me, the tribute armor. So this was the month right before that. So that's how long ago it's been. It's July or whatever of last year, I think. Something like that, June or July. So this one is Earth and Spirit. So this is armor 2, Earth and Spirit. That one is the male, I believe. Could be female, actually. I'm going to label that as female because I think it actually is. Here's a new one. This one is Earth and Air. This one, to me, has a very kind of air and fire look to it. Kind of angelic battle mail-esque, like as far as the color scheme is concerned. So, I don't know. This one's Earth and Air anyway. So this is armor 3, Earth, Air. Hey, Chicken Face, welcome. So this one is male, I believe. And then we have the female. Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to be sure. This is a step down from Ascension on the female. And there's the female, the one we just looked at, the Leeski's reskin. Again, I can't remember the original name. Now this one is the Shaco Calamity. This one is actually was originally a War Armor, and I think that's the female. But this is originally it was a Spirit Fire, I think, or Fire Spirit. I don't know why you say that every time you join. It's like almost never any women here at all. Anyway, ladies, daddies here. So this one is another Earth and Spirit. So originally this was, I believe it was Spirit Fire. But now it's Earth Spirit. So, and I actually did already talk with Deca about this. And I'm supposed to be getting a list, if you will, of armors from them. That's kind of a breakdown of the armors that they have put out recently, and they want me to kind of give them a what happened here? Did I screw something up? Yes, I did. I named the wrong one. This one is not. I labeled this one that one. That's actually Earth. This one is Earth Spirit, not Earth Air. So I've already screwed myself up, and I just barely got started. So this one, let me double check here. Fire, Fire, Fire. Earth Spirit. Yeah, that's not Earth Air. That's the female. Actually, hang on. Let me make sure here. That is the same armor, or the same Ascension, I should say. I'm just not seeing the difference. Okay, so this one is the female, and that one's the male. Okay, so the one I thought was the female is actually the male. And that one's the female. There we go. So this one is armor 3. Is Earth Air. Okay, so let me go back here. I don't think I messed myself up that much. I think I just labeled the wrong one. Oh, good lord, how many of those did I have open? Okay, so this one is, I believe, the male, but one step down from Ascension. And there is the male of this one up here. Oh, so I labeled that one wrong too, didn't I? Yep, I'm an idiot. Derp. Okay. Yeah, I am. I'm a derp. So this one, yeah, I relabeled the wrong one. This one's actually female. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing there. I just I renamed it to be the male when it's actually the female. And the one I'm looking at now is the male. Right, there is the male. Derp. Okay. Alright, now we have the female of this Earth and Air right here. just making sure I didn't mess myself up again. Okay, so this one is the same as that one, but it's the female instead. There's the male of the earth and spirit. Is that female? These ones are hard to tell. I'm going to label it as female for now because I'm not positive. I'll come back to it if I need to. That one looks to be male, I think. It's hard to say. And here's a new one. This one is Earth and Fire. Has a very kind of tribal-esque look to it. It's pretty cool, I think. Has like feathers coming off of the weapon and like a skull sort of shield with some feathers coming off of the top of it, and like almost looks like just a big club with like feathers and stuff. I think it's a cool looking armor, all in all. Armor 5, Earth Fire. That is male. There's the same Earth and Air, but I believe that is the male one step down. There's the Earth and Spirit right here. That's the female version of it. Or actually, no. Hang on. I had it right the first time. Actually, let me redo that. Let me copy that. Good Lord, fingers. Fingers are not cooperating today. That one is the female. There we go. Yeah, so in case any of you didn't know, I mentioned this in a few chats, but I decided to open up my fingers. If you can see that really that well. Those are stitches. So I'm not typing as well in my left hand right now. It actually happened almost 2 weeks ago, but my fingers are still not quite back to normal, so my typing is a bit haphazard right now. Here's another new one. So this is Earth and Spirit. This is the third of 4. Yeah, 4 Earth and Spirit. I don't know why there's so many, but there are. Let me turn this just a titch more to the side, because that's kind of bugging me. There we go. So this one is, as I said, Earth and Spirit. This is number 3, so this is armor number 6. And there are 12, as I said. That, I believe, is male. I'm just going to mark it as male for a second, and I'll check. Whoop. Don't undo that. Undo that. What are you doing? Close that. Did not mean to do that. I rotated it on accident. I need to rotate it the other way. There we go. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's male. Yeah, it looks like it to me. Okay. Just to make sure I don't screw myself up again. Here's another new armor. This one is the raid armor for the Earth and Air boss. So we have the Leeski's Soul reskin, and then this one, this is number 2. And there is a third raid armor, so I just don't know what the deal is with that and why there's 3. But this is the raid boss Earth and Air armor. There's the Air Swirl and the Earth Swirl. So that one is armor 7, Earth Air. Male, I believe. Looks like it. There's the Earth and Spirit. That one looks like the male. There's that Earth and Fire, but that's I think that's a step down actually from Ascension. Yeah, it looks like it. So that's the same one, but a step down from Ascension. There's the Earth and Air up here, but that is the female, I believe. There is Leeski's reskin, that's number 2? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's the male. Oops. Did I label the wrong one? I probably did. What? What is going on here? Oh, duh. Pay attention, dumbass. One of those days, my brain's a little fried. So this is Earth Water number 1, but this is not the raid armor, because it doesn't look anything like that boss, but this one I would assume is a seasonal, since it's the only other Earth Water in the files. Armor 8, Earth Water, and that's male. There's the same Earth and Air at the beginning. First one, rather. That one is the male. If I remember correctly, when I did the data mine for the same month we had Leeski's Soul in it, again, I can't remember the original name. When we had that month, I had the same problem with that one. I had the same problem with the Elemental Spawn, for those of you who remember that one. It was a Water Fire Raid armor, back before they started naming them after players. I had the same problem with that one because there was no obvious, differentiation between male and female in the body really anywhere. The arms were the same size, the legs were the same distance apart. Everything looked exactly the same. These ones are a bit easier because it has much more broad chest plate versus the female one, which will have a much more narrow chest plate. And here, this is going to make a lot of people really angry. I already mentioned this to Deca. It's not supposed to be happening, but apparently somebody's wires got crossed. This is the Undersea Bishop. For those of you who remember it, it was, I believe, Water Spirit seasonal from, I want to say, over a year ago now. Maybe closer to 18 months. But this is the Dual Earth exclusive for now. I'm sure it'll get replaced as we get closer to August, but this is the Dual Earth. So it's the Undersea Bishop recolored, which, again, a lot of people are going to be unhappy about, but I think it's just a temporary thing. That's male, yeah. I already mentioned it. It's not supposed to be a reskin. So it's not, well, normally the exclusives are not supposed to be reskins. They can be sometimes combos, but they're not supposed to be just plain reskins. So somebody on the art team's wires got crossed or they misheard or something. I don't know. But this is the Dual Earth for now. So just keep that in mind. It's not guaranteed to stay that way. And here is the male of the very first one. That's the base of that one. There is the, I believe that's the male. That's the Earth Spirit. Is that this one? Oh, that one was actually the female. Derp. Wasn't even paying attention. Okay, so this one is the male. There we go. And there is a step down from Ascension, I believe, of the Earth and Air down here at the bottom, but that's the male version. That is the female, or excuse me, the male. Could be male. This is the raid armor, but I'm not sure if that's Ascended or not. I don't think it is. I'll double check, but it might not be, because it has the same weapon as that creature and it has the same head. But that's one of that's the other raid armor. It's Earth and Water. So armor 10, Earth Water, and that one is, I believe, male. I'm not sure if it's Ascended or not. I'll have to double check. And that one is the Ascended of the female of the Earth and Air raid armor, which I think was this one. Yeah. Okay. And here's that Earth and Water again, but this is the female. That was that one, I think. Nope, sorry, the one right above it. They're right next to each other, so I got it confused. Alright, and there is Earth and Fire. That's the Earth and Fire we just looked at, but that's the female version. It's the second one right here. Female. And there's the female of the Dual Earth. Again, it's just a temporary thing. It should not remain, as far as I'm aware. And here we have another Starmetal. It's different from the previous one, but it's another Starmetal. I don't know why it's here. I have no idea. It may be possible they decided to scrap the previous one and use this one instead. I'm not sure. This has more of like a more of a lance kind of weapon, or it's just a long point on on a handle, like a lance would be, if you know. But that's what that looks like for jousting. But this one is a new Starmetal. I don't know what it's going to be used for at all. All I know is it's another Starmetal, and I'm pretty sure that's male. And then there's the first one, not first one, the reskin of the, I think it was this one? No, that's Reski's. That one, there it is. So that one is the female, but a step down from Ascension. And there's the female of the Earth and Fire right here. There's the Dual Earth. That's the male, one step down. There's the Starmetal. Very obviously female if you look at that waist right there. Very obviously female. And also the upper part of the chest plate's much more bulged, I guess, for lack of a better word. Alright, so that one is, I believe, female. Double check. This one? Looks like it. So it's that one right there, but it's the female version of that one. But one step down, rather. And then we have the Earth and Spirit, which was this one there, I think. Nope, not that one. One down lower. Right there. That's it right there. Okay. So that one is the male, but one step down from Ascension. there's the fire. And you can see, like I mentioned earlier, the chest is much more broad. It's more kind of straight up and down side on the sides. This one has a more narrow waist and a slightly bigger, slightly larger upper half, if you will. So that's the earth and air up here at the top, and that is the female base of that one. And there's the female base of the very first earth and fire at the very top. Now we just more or less have to find there are 12 armors. I have one more to find here, and I don't know what these are all going to be used for because there's so many of them. This is the Starmetal, this is the male but unascended. There's the dual earth, female, unascended. There's the earth spirit, which is right there, I think. Yep. Just making sure, again, I'm not screwing myself up, because I do that a bit too often sometimes. There is the... Okay, so that last one I labeled as male may not have actually been male. The earth and water one right here, I mean. That one might actually be the female. It's hard to tell. These chest plates are so similar. Okay, let me move this one over. Okay, actually, no, this is male. That's female. Okay, never mind. It's hard to tell sometimes, but when you look at them side by side, it's a little easier to spot. Because there's just a slight bump right there, and then it kind of goes to a more narrow waist. But not significantly narrower. It's just a little bit more pronounced right there, in that little bump. Okay, moving on. And here is number 12. Looks like it's holding an umbrella, and it has like a surfboard for a shield, and it looks like snorkeling goggles, and then a drink for a hat. I don't know. This one's a bit weird. So this is the final armor. This is Earth and Spirit also. This is the last armor, and this one's, I think, male. Yeah, it looks like it. And the chest portion of it looks like there's like a rubber duck. Not a rubber duck, but like one of those little life preserver duckling things that goes around. Hey, is that Floppy? I think that's Floppy. Welcome. So this is armor number 12. Again, I don't know why they have 4 earth and spirits, but that's that. So, moving on. And then we have, this is a step down from Ascension. I'm pretty sure that's male of the earth and water, which is right here. There's the base of the earth and spirit right there, I think. Yep. And that one is the female, so that's a good pick right there. Oh, it's not too bad. Most of the way through the armors, just getting, kind of cleaning up the stragglers, the ones that are the unascended versions. That's the male base of the earth and air raid armor, which I think is right there. Yes, good. Okay. So that's the male, but the base version of that one. And there's the Starmetal female. That one right there, but one step down. There is the female, I think. Double check here. Yeah, that's the female of the earth and water raid armor. Smexy, if you say so. Personally, I'm not a fan, but whatever. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not really a big fan of the looks of the Starmetals this time around. That's the female, I think. Double checking. Looks like female. That's the female base of this one here, I believe. I'll double check. Nope, not even close. That's earth and water, moron. Good lord. Not even paying attention. Earth and water, for crying out loud. That's this one. Ta-da! Nope, that's not that one. It's the one above it. So there's 2 of them right next to each other. It's messing me up. Okay, so that's the female of that one. Unascended. Okay. There we go. Red armor. Pay attention to the elements there next time, genius. That's the male base of the earth and spirit right here. There's the earth and spirit again at the very bottom, but that's the female version of that one. There's a step down from Ascension male. Actually, I'm just going to really quickly grab those, and I'll come back to it in just a second. Just because it's weird, and I don't know if I like it. 70 is female, one step down. And the base is 74 for a female. And 75 is the base of the male. Okay, just wanted to clear those out really quick, just because I'm almost done. I just figured I'd grab those last few. So this is the earth and fire up toward the top. I think it's right there. That's the male. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so that's the male of that one, the base. And I'm going to really quickly again go and find the female. Right there. 62. Okay. Now that I've got most of them in here, I'm just going to quickly sort out the rest. So that's the earth and water we just looked at, which I think was this one. Nope, one above it. Did it again. So this is the male, one step down. Whoops, wrong one. I'll show you in just a second. It's going to come up in just a second as well. But there it is right there, actually. This is the base of the... So level 1 up to level 50. This is the base of that one. So we'll get back to it in just a second. I'm just sorting through the armors. So what was I working on now? Sorry, I've lost track. Okay. So this is the earth and water raid armor. We're going to skip that one. Hang on, what was I working on now? I've lost track again. Let me just start from here, and we'll go from there. Okay. So this is the raid armor. That is the male of the earth water, which I think was this one. Yeah, that's the one I keep going back to, and I don't mean to. So that is the base of the male of that one. Let me grab the base of the female right there. So 67. Okay, that one's done. Back to here. So this is the Earth Air Raid Armor. Where are you? I think it's right here. Yeah. So this is the base of the female of that one. Okay, and there's the Starmetal again. That's the male base, I believe. And I'm going to find the female base really quick, which is 69. Get that out of the way. Okay. There's the dual earth, which again is just a temporary thing, or at least I'm pretty sure it is. It's just a reskin of the undersea bishop, which a lot of people, of course, are not going to be happy about. But I've already notified Deca, as I said earlier, for those of you who weren't on. They said this is not intentional, and I'm hoping they'll get it fixed quickly. And if they do, of course, I'll update the files, but I'll update the sheet, rather. So this is our Earth Spirit, which was this one. Where'd it go? Could I go up higher? Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it is. Okay. So this one is the male base of that one. And that one is the female base of the same one. Get that out of the way while I'm at it. Okay. Now we have Earth and Water regular armor, not raid armor, which is this one, I think. Yes, it is. That is the male of the base version. The male of the base male version. And that's the base female, right up next to it. Okay. I think that's it. It is. Cool. There's our cape. Fox shoulders. So you've got foxes on either side of your head there. And then we'll jump forward. Let me grab the cape out of here really quick. So it's 77, 85, and 86. 77, 85, and 86. Okay, that's that. And this one is the actual cape image. There we go. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Okay, so let me close you, go back into here, and we're going to start sorting through the heads and all that other good stuff now. So that's the earth and fire up at the top, which was this one right here, I believe. Yes. That's the head for that guy. That's the earth and water raid armor, which is this one, I believe, right here. Yes, it is. Now that I've gone through them all once, it's a little easier to spot. That's the head of the earth air at the top, which is this one. Yep. That's the Earth and Spirit at the very bottom. That's the easy one to remember because it's the funkiest looking one in my opinion. That's the Starmetal. That's the Earth and Water regular armor, not the raid armor, which I think is this one. Yes, it is. Good, good. And there's the Earth and Air. Is this one? Yeah, Earth and Air raid armor. So for those of you who weren't on when I started, there are 3 raids this month, or for August rather. I don't know what the third armor's for, or the third raid boss and armor are for yet. All I know is there's 3 raid bosses and 3 armors. Okay, is that one? Yeah. So that's the Earth Spirit. There's a pet. So these pets are very Groot-esque, for those of you who know Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're not really super Groot until you get down to the base version, which is right there. Very kind of Groot-esque, but they look less like Groot the more they get tiered up. That's actually, I think, tier 2. But when you get to the top tier, which is this one right here, I'm guessing, it just looks like a flower creature, something. I don't know. Yeah, big time Groot look. But it's not Groot. It's a unique looking creature that has similarities to Groot, but it isn't Groot. So what do we have here? So we have 89, 91. Yeah. 89, 91, 92, 91, 92. Drop those in their own folder really quick while I'm at it. 94. And I think there's actually, that's the base, right? That's base right there. That's tier 1. So that's the baby looking one that has kind of this kind of cockeyed mouth. But that's tier 1. I shouldn't have closed that. There it is. So 96 is the final of the pets. So let me sort those out really quick before I move on. So 89 should be tier 5. Okay, so that one has a few more flowers. So 92 is tier 4. 91 is tier 3. 94 is tier 2. And 96 is tier 1. There we go. Done. That's out of my hair now. Okay, let's close you back to here. I just wanted to get the pets out of my way really quick before I moved on. So that one is a reskin of the Shaco Calamity, which was a war armor from, I want to say, over a year ago now. I have it on one account somewhere. There's the reskin of the Shadeburn Scimitar. It's also something else that was an Earth Water, I think. War armor at one point. That's the head for that one. Very first armor in the files. There's Leeski's Soul reskin, which is, whoops, wrong one. I think it's that one. Yeah. Some of these are going to be easy because they're reskins, so they'll be easy to figure out. That one, I'm going to come back to that one. That's Earth and Fire. That's the Earth and Fire up here at the top. I think it was this one. Yeah. Because that one looks just like the shoulder. Easy enough. So that one is the ring for that armor, which is that one there. That one I'll come back to. That one looks like the Earth and Air, but I'll come back to it. There's the Shadeburn Scimitar reskin, which is the Earth Fire at the top, so that's 101. Ring. And there's the amulet for it, 102. Handy. Okay, there's the Leeski's Soul reskin, which is Earth Air. Or, excuse me, Earth Spirit, right there, yeah, same one. That one, 103. Ring. I'm going to grab the amulet really quick while I'm on that topic. Okay, where are you? There it is, 120. Almost the second to last one here. There we go. just get those out of the way really quick because I know what they look like. Coming back to you, coming back to you. That one I believe is the earth fire. Yeah, that's the earth fire, the one I got the ring for already, right here. Yeah, it looks just like the face. Cool, just making sure. That's the amulet for that one, so that's 105. Okay, come back to that one in a minute. That's Starmetal. It's easy to tell because it looks just like the Starmetal. So 107 is the amulet for the Starmetal. That's the Shaco Calamity. I'll come back to that one in a minute. That one's that funky looking one. There's a crafting material. Shaco, Earth Air, Earth Air. And there's the Starmetal right there. I want to just get that one really quick while I was on that topic. Some of them are really, really simple and easy to spot. Other ones are not. Ones that are reskins, of course, are just based on the original armor, so they're easy enough to spot, but not all of the time. So that one is Earth and Spirit. I think it's this one. Yeah. I have to make sure, because there's 4 of the stupid things in here. 108. This one is the amulet. And 113 is the ring. Okay. Yeah, some of them are very unique. Some months there's like basically brand new stuff, maybe only 1 or 2 reskins. Other months where there's like half and half. It just kind of depends. Lately, the past maybe 4 months, there's been very few reskins. So this is actually a change. This month having what 4 is actually fairly abnormal. I mean, technically, if you talk about the the Decaversary event with the different like flame cracked one, wind hewn one, all those ones, they were technically all reskins of the same armor, but they all looked different. I mean, of course they look different because they're elements, duh. But all the rest of the armors for the most part, except for I think 1, were all new otherwise, and itself was a new armor. It's just reskins of the same armor within the same month. Okay. So let's go into here and take a look at these guys. So that one I think is probably going to go with this one, just a guess, based on the look of it. Because this one does have these kind of like stars and things around it. It looks kind of like this armor belongs. Or rather, this ring belongs with this armor. I may have to come back to it just to be sure though, but that one looks like that one goes there. That one I think might go with the other Earth and Fire. Actually, no, the other Earth and Fire is a different armor entirely. Maybe it's this one. No, not that one. Let me look here really quick. Is it this one? No, all the wrong color scheme. Doesn't really match up with that one either. It doesn't have the wings or whatever, that kind of motif of the wings on the sides. Doesn't look quite right. Nope, not that one. Let's try this earth and water one here then, maybe. That looks more like it. That looks kind of more along the lines of the look and feel. Yeah, there's the wings right there. And the same sort of gem right there in the middle of the weapon. That was easy. Not really. Sort of kind of easy. Alright, so that's 100 even. The ring. That one I'm not sure about. I think it's probably one of the earth waters. That one I don't know either. That one goes with the Earth Spirit at the bottom because it has that same rubber duck or duck inflated thing majigger. I don't know what the hell to call that. It's funky looking anyway. It looks like a popsicle stick thing. Like I don't know what you call those. Anyway, there's a crafting material. Looks like a stein of beer. No. There's the amulet that goes with it. That's 119? Yeah. Okay. Let me get to the the exclusives for now, which are right there, side by side. So this, again, for now, is a reskin of the Undersea Bishop. So it most likely will not stay as that. That's just what it is currently. Okay, there we go. Done. And I capitalized the M on the amulet. I knew I'd done it. I just moved on before I'd fixed it. Okay, now let's do, this is SF48, material 1, and I think that one is material 2. I don't know which one's exclusive versus regular, but there you go. Now the rest of these are all going to be unique. So this one I think is probably the Earth and Water Raid Armor, just a guess at this point, but it looks like it would fit to me because it has the same kind of bony, spirally look in the middle of the shield. And has the little seashells on it and whatnot around the outside edges and blah, blah, blah. Looks like it fits there to me. It actually looks similar to the belt portion right there. So that's that one. So that's the amulet for that. This one is the ring for the same armor. I'm pretty sure. I will double check though. Again, just to be sure. Because it has the stars wrapped around there. Star on the elbow. Yeah, that looks like that belongs there to me. Star in the middle of the chest. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's right. So I'm just going to move on. Okay, so this one. So what do we have left here? We have that one done. That one done. This Earth and Air is not done. And that one I already know is toward the end. I'm not going to touch that one. That one, I already know which ones those ones are. Earth and Spirit. That has a lot of the same kind of shape, like the look and feel, the motif of that shape is very reminiscent of this one. What I'm doing is I'm looking for that exact shape and color scheme. I mean, that right there in the middle looks just like the elbow, but this isn't really represented as much, like it kind of is in the weapon. And kind of is in the shield, but not exactly. So I'm just kind of looking to see which. It's probably this one most likely. I would say it probably most likely is. I'm just going to say it is, and we'll come back to it if I make a mistake. But it looks enough like it that it might as well be. So we'll just assume it is for now. Okay, so that one. What am I missing here? So we're good there, good there. The Earth and Air I'll get to in a second. The Earth and the Spirit there, Earth and Fire there. Earth and Spirit there. Earth and Air. There we go. Actually, I may have just gotten it backwards. I think I did. Because even though this one has the same kind of... this one actually has far more of a matching color motif to the previous one I just did. I'm going to undo that step there, and we're going to put it back to the bottom here. So this one, if I go back, is going to be back to this one now. So that one, I think, actually goes with this one. Oops, sorry, wrong one. That one, I think, actually goes with... Where'd it go? Blind. Right there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have them backwards. So this one looks far more like it belongs with this armor than it does with the other one. To me, anyway. It has the same sort of, like... faded color from the bottom end of the horn up to the top. It has the same kind of color there, and it most likely goes with this one. So I'm going to swap those two really quick. So number 106, or sorry, number 104 is this one. I'm going to say that one's the ring for that one. And then the other Earth and Water, which is right. Nope, sorry, wrong one. The other Earth and Air, sorry, duh. Yeah, that's the one I just put it with. So it's the Earth and Water down here toward the, or the Earth and Water up higher. Where the hell are you? Where'd you go? Oh yeah, I already got that one. Duh. Sorry, brain cramp. My brain is not functioning on all cylinders right now. Okay. Where was I now? It's this one here is what I was getting confused on. That's the one. Let me actually do those, because that's just going to keep messing me up. Closing you. So, Earth and Air, because these ones look distinctly Earth and Fire to me. It's this one right here and this one right here. They look distinctly Earth Fire. Or Air Fire, rather. Excuse me. That one right there and that one right there. They look just like the armor, but they don't look distinctly Earth and Air to me. So that's the amulet. Whoops, nope, not that one. That one. And the one above it is the ring. There we go. Got that out of my way. Okay. So, back to you. This one goes with the Earth and Spirit up here. That's what I was messing myself up on. Looks much more like that one. Much more akin to those colors. Much more like it. Okay. There we go. I'm not smoking that much crack, I promise. Alright. Now we have an amulet here. That looks like the same earth and air we just looked at a bit ago. That one right there. Yep, looks much more like that one than it does the other one. I'm just looking to see if I can find that exact shape somewhere, but I'm not seeing it. But it does have the same kind of color scheme as this armor. And again, this one doesn't look especially earth and air to me either. It looks almost more like earth and water, really, to be honest, but whatever. I think this belongs with this one, I'm pretty sure, because it has the same kind of like flares, and the colors are fading in and out, like just like the helmet was on the previous one. I was talking about that ring. Looks just like this one. So we're going to say it is. And of course, if I make a mistake, I can always go back and fix it. I ended up actually doing that for Spirit Month. I had 2 amulets swapped. So I had 2 of them. I think it was an Earth Air and an Earth Water. Or Earth Air. Spirit Air and Spirit Water. I had a seasonal swap with a War Armor, I think it was, or something like that. That looks like the Earth Water. This guy right here. Nope, not that one right there. Derp. This one. Because it has the same like wrapping around looking thing that happens right there on that. So, ta-da. That one's done. Okay. So that one is that one. And that one is the remaining one, which I believe is the Earth Spirit up here at the top. Yep. Looks just like that one. Kind of the same flares and everything. Cool. Alright. Now that that's all sorted out. Done. Okay, cool. So now we're going to grab this and this. We're going to grab all the heads, amulets, and rings, all the good stuff in here. I ended up swapping out my mouse because the last couple of streams my mouse would start freaking out and it wouldn't allow me to scroll to zoom in on these guys. You'll notice that hasn't been a problem here because I switched out for another mouse just temporarily because it's just for whatever reason my wireless one was freaking out on me. It would not scroll. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to start the assembly process. Yay! Okay. So let's go with male, 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 male. Whoops, not that one. There's 5 and there's 6. Okay, give this a second. This almost always takes a minute to load if I haven't opened it up recently, and I haven't opened it up for a couple of days at least. There we are. Alrighty, so let me sort these out really quick here. So that's number 6. We're going to put you last. You're first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Okay, there we go. Back in order. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. I gotta be honest, I liked this armor originally as the Spirit Fire exclusive it was when it was season 6 or whatever it was, ages ago. That's like 3.5 years ago now. I preferred the Spirit and Fire look to this one. The Earth and Water wasn't bad, but I still prefer the original look of this armor over the rest. And this armor is massive. Just the size of that blade on that thing is just insanely huge. I may end up having to swap back to the other mouse for this portion because it's considerably faster than this mouse I'm using is. I think I might do that. Give me 1 second here. Oh yeah, much better. Even though I can't scroll, that's fine. I don't need to at this point in time. Oh, actually it scrolls just fine. Never mind. Okay. It wasn't scrolling on the pictures in particular when I was trying to zoom in within the Windows built-in picture viewer thingy. And yes, I am still using Windows 7. I have not upgraded this machine. Works just fine for what I need. So there's that armor. Before I add anything else. I like to do that so people can kind of see what the armor looks like before everything gets covered up by a massive shield. Like this one is humongous. And that's going to go right about there. And you can see the entire arm's gone. You can't see it at all. It's just so huge. gotten accustomed to that other mouse moving a little slower, and this is kind of throwing me off. Kind of weird. Oh, I gotta have to redo that. Got too close to the bottom edge. Because that's gonna overlap the shield. I gotta get right up against it. Because if I overlap the shield, I'll have to blend the two in together, and that'll be a pain in the butt. Okay, put you right about here. I gotta delete that little bit there because it's overlapping that portion of the armor. Right about there. And now I gotta go find the itty bitty handle. It's right there. And now this can go right about there. I can't really even see it, but I would know it's not there, so I'm gonna always make sure I do that. Okay. What I mean by this armor being huge is width-wise, it's one of the largest armors in the game. From side to side, I mean, from, you know, pixel-wise, side to side. It's one of the largest ones. Decatron, I think, is still the winner. This one's close, though. This one's about 335, yeah. Decatron's 350. 350 pixels wide. It's huge. I mean, they're almost all much wider than they are tall, but this one is the biggest one, or the second biggest one. And I think the Slipstream Scale Guard, the Season 4 or Season 5, the first exclusive, I think it was, I think, right around the same area. But it was also really, really tall with those big flares coming off of it. Okay, so that's that. Let's save that. Move you out of the way. In the wrong folder entirely anyway. Move you back over there. There we go. Armor 1, Earthfire. Okay, now we're going back into the Leeski's reskin. And I have the name for the original armor somewhere. I can just never remember what it is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they've definitely got to have some massive muscles in those arms to be able to handle those humongous blades and axes and hammers and all the other stuff that they carry. So I have to admit, I kind of like the look of this armor as Earth Spirit. It was originally, I want to say it was originally Earth Air. It was, again, I think I mentioned this earlier as well. It was the season before the armor that was named after me, the tribute armor. This was Leeski's first top one, and mine was the second, and then Kirsten's was the third. All Leeski doing them. He just got them all named after me and Kirsten after she sadly passed away. And that was the month, Kirsten's was the month after mine. So, anyway. Alright, and there is that one. You can see it before I cover it up with a shield. Yep. Yeah, I miss her too. I didn't talk to her all that much, but she was always incredibly sweet. Always as helpful as she could possibly be whenever the situation called for it. So there's that shield right about there. And then this weird looking, like, jeweled hammer thingamajigger. I also wanted to ask, while we're kind of midstream now, am I coming through clear? Video, audio choppy at all? Is it still pretty good for the most part? I just like to double check because I've had a couple of streams where it's gotten really choppy toward the end. I think it's largely just because my computer's encoding software that I'm using to do these streams. I don't think OBS likes my computer as much. Okay, good. I just wanted to be sure because I had some people report that they were having a hard time hearing me a couple of streams ago, and I want to make sure that people aren't having that issue anymore, or as little as possible anyway. there's the Leeski's Soul reskin, which is now Earth and Spirit instead of Earth and Air. Kind of where I want that. And width-wise, about 255. Yeah, that's pretty close to square, actually. Pretty darn close. Okay, and now we have the new armor, which is Earth and Air, which does not look Earth and Air to me. Looks distinctly Earth or Air and Fire, or Fire and Air, just based on the color scheme. We've had Air, Fire, and Fire Air armors that have this same kind of general look. So this one doesn't look distinctly Earth and Air to me. And you've got yellow flames. You've got, I mean, you know, granted there is some green and stuff in there, but it doesn't look the right color scheme to me. It looks a little too Air and Fire. Yeah, it really does. This one does not have the face, kind of the bottom portion of the chin, you know, kind of right there that you can kind of blend the two in together. So this one I kind of have to just eyeball, which I tend to try to avoid if I can. But there are armors that don't have that face, like the current Spirit exclusive for this month has the bottom end of the face open, so you can still see the knight's face underneath it, which some people don't like, which I get, because most of them, the faces are completely covered, on the Ascended versions anyway. That one's weird. What the crap? That's weird to me. It should not look like this. Should be more or less kind of centered directly beneath that, but if I center it, it looks funky. That's weird. I'm not sure if I like that. The legs kind of line up though, but that looks weird to me. Yep. Okay. There's also a little bit of bleed over on some of these armors. I actually should have checked it on the face. Yeah, it's not really noticeable. So if you'll notice on this arm, when I put it in place here, there's some bleed over on the flames on the side here. I'll zoom in and show you what I mean. I've mentioned this in previous streams. Right there, that's kind of a little like they didn't quite blend that edge in quite properly. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, there's that. That's that armor. Let's check this guy out here. Whoops, almost chopped off a corner of that. There's the shield, which is a cool looking shield, all in all. And then we have this massive, like, I don't know what even to call this thing. I don't know how you'd use that as a weapon. Doesn't really look like a weapon to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Blending that wrist just a little bit, and then this right here is sticking way out over the armor. I don't even really need to put the back piece in there, because it's like completely behind that leg piece. You can't even really see it anyway. I'm going to put it in, because I'll know it's not there. And that'll bug me, even if nobody else knows. So this needs to go right about there. Ta-da! There's that one. I kind of try to always zoom out to the same percentage down here. It's 113. I always try to get around the same, so they're all the same rough measurements when I put them on the sheet. Sounds right about there. That's about 270-ish. Yeah, that sounds good. So that's pretty decently wide. Actually, no, I can get 265. That's better. Okay. Now we have the Shaco Calamity. Janky armor. Yeah, it's not exactly an appealing looking one, but the Shaco Calamity, I like the look of this armor originally, so this is just a different element combo for this one for me. So I like the look of it, but I like the original. I think it was Fire Spirit, if I remember right, originally. It might have been Spirit Fire. I don't remember now. I remember that when we ran for this armor, we had scheduled, I believe it was a T20, and ended up T3, or was it T4, something like that, but I think it was a T3, if I remember right. We were scheduled for we were scheduled for a T20 and ended up pushing a lot harder than we thought we were going to, and got the plus version. So that was pretty cool. This one originally was Spirit Fire or Fire Spirit. Oops, picked up the beer I hadn't even opened yet. Yeah, this one originally was Spirit Fire or Fire Spirit. But this is now Earth Spirit. Where's the arm? There it is. And there is that armor, before I add anything to it. Actually, I need to move that just a titch to the right. There we go. And this massive shield. Almost as big as the Shadeburn Scimitar reskins. Not quite, but close. Still humongous anyway. That right about there. Other two versions? There's only been one of this one, I think. Or no, wait, no, that's right. There was a war armor that had portions of this armor in it. That's right. I remember now. It had like the head and like the shield or something. I don't remember it being. Whoops, I did not want to do that. It had like components of this armor. That's right. I remember that now. I think it's cool looking, but it's not as cool as the original. Probably because I have sentimental value because I ended up with the armor. I got the plus version. One of those few occasions when I did an accidental top run. I normally don't do top runs at all, but that one ended up being an accidental one. Where'd you go? Where are you? There you are. Hiding from me, I see. Oops. Right about there. Ta-da! I definitely like the Spirit Fire version of this one better, though. It's cool looking armor. I just don't like this one quite as much. Excuse me. Alright, so there's that one. And that one is... Wow, that's actually pretty wide. $295. Okay, now we're moving on to the first of the two Earth Fires. I like this, and it kind of has like a tribal sort of. I don't know how to describe it, but it has like a tribal look to it. I was gonna say tiki, but that's the wrong word. Tiki, yeah. Well, there you go. I was gonna say tiki is probably the wrong word, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of what word to describe it, but it looks very tribal. I think it's a cool looking armor, though, regardless. It's a cool look, regardless of what you want to call it. I just can't think of the word. It'll come to me. But it looks very tribal. Like, I would even dare say, to go so far as to say it almost looks very kind of almost Aztec-based, maybe? Because it kind of has the feathers and the different like masks and stuff. I don't know. Maybe Aztec's the wrong word, but that's the only word I can think of that kind of fits. Because it definitely has some earth tones to it, but also the fire like accents. So I don't know. That one. There's that one. Pretty cool. I like that the shield like matches the face almost just a little bit. Yeah. Yep, I like it. Exactly. That's kind of why I'm saying it's kind of almost like an Aztec feel to it. It's not really Aztec per se, but it just kind of has that, I don't know, that sort of vibe. Something to that effect. Then we have this massive, like, looks just like a blunt, like, stick. Just beat somebody over the head with that thing. Didn't even need to blend that wrist. I'm going to have to blend the weapon a bit. Or maybe not. Maybe it's okay. Ooh, don't do that. I hate when it does that. Jumps off the screen on me. Badminton birdie. Right about there. Well, the shoes just look like have a similar kind of feel to the rest of the armor. It has like those plates to it. I don't know. I like it. This one's going to be a really small armor side to side, I can tell already. That's about 230. Oh yeah, it's actually quite a bit taller than it is wide. That's pretty rare. Doesn't happen that often. That's 5, I think? Yeah. And 6 is our new Earth Spirit. One of the new ones. I'm getting a little bit of lag in my application here that I'm using to make put these armors together. Just started noticing it's getting a little bit more laggy as time goes on. Again, because my computer's just running a lot of different things at once. I actually ended up shutting down my Chrome browser entirely because it was the last stream I had. It just lagged and lagged and lagged, and then as soon as I shut it down, it seemed to help dramatically. So I shut it down all but one tab. So it's actually just, there we go, that's better. Seemed like it was off. So it seems to run a lot better with Chrome pretty much shut down entirely. I do also like the look of this armor. It doesn't have like a distinctly Spirit Earth vibe to it, but it still has Spirit Earth colors. Yeah, the helmet is very, yeah, it does kind of have that feel to it, but it's definitely Earth and Spirit. As you can see, there's the Earth blocks, Spirit swirls. Definitely Earth Spirit, but it does have multiple colors in it, and that actually happens frequently. So there's that one with the shield. And the weapon almost has like an axe sort of feel to it without being an axe. Kind of weird. I like it though. It's just different. Sometimes the weapons are really cool ideas, and other times you're just like, what would you honestly do with that? How would you use that? You know what I mean? Sometimes they're like, oh yeah, that's cool, I like that. And other times you're like, why would that work as a weapon? How is that possible? Like the ones that have like the massively huge blades, like the Shadeburn Scimitar. It's like, oh yeah, you could rip somebody to shreds with that thing. And then other ones you have like the Earth and Air for this month. It's like, how exactly would that work? You know? Like, how would you use that as a weapon? I mean, I get it's just a fantasy game, but still, it's like, some realism would be nice. Like this one would still screw you, dude, totally still screw you up if they hit you with it, don't get me wrong, but this one just isn't, this one's more realistic than that fire air looking one that's Earth and Air. Let's see, 301, wow, 301, really? Wow, that's actually a really wide one. A few big ones in this one. Okay. Now we gotta go back to here and do the other ones. We're gonna do 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the question I'm asking. Oh, that's right. White for alpha. You're right, Flippino. That's right. You're right. I do remember that now as soon as you said it. White for alpha. I'd forgotten that they based it on that one. 9, 10, 11, 12, and 7. There we go. Now we're back in order. 1 second. Sorry, I'm getting a message online. Somebody's messaging me something. Come on, stop being dumb. Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. So, a guy I know on the iOS side of things, I play on Android for those of you who didn't know, is a guy I actually kind of helped learn how to do what I do. He released his sheet actually just earlier today. It's his version of it. He does it his own way. But I did teach him some of the how to do things. So he does it his own way other than that. But he released his just a little bit earlier today. Or might have even been last night. I'm not sure. But I asked him to hold off as long as he could, because I just out of courtesy. But this is a funky one. I'm not sure about that neckline. He knows how to do it. He can do it just as easily as I can. I just like to live stream mine, and depending on my availability with my real life and my job and everything, I don't always have the time. So this is kind of the only time of day, which right now it's 9:30 almost here. I have the time right now, and last night I didn't have actually getting time available until like almost 9:30. So it really just mostly depends on my real life and my job when I have the time to do it. But he always likes to get his out right around the same time I'm doing mine. He may have actually just released it, I'm not sure. But he told me he was going to, and I said, okay, well, can you wait until I at least start my live stream? So maybe he just barely released it, I'm not sure. So anyway, that's that armor. It's pretty cool looking, I think. The waist didn't line up very well, but it looks better that way, with it not quite lining up. But anyway, for those of you who are on iOS, his name is Legion. I believe he's still in Touch Alliance. Oh, that's fair, Floppy. That's fair. Well, you quit playing though, pretty much, didn't you? Or did you come back, or are you still done? I wasn't sure about that. Oh, that's fair. I thought you were done, like you weren't playing at all anymore. Now it's got a lot of blending of that wrist right there. It needs to be done. Oh, you play during raids? Oh, that's fair. Okay, cool. I thought I remembered you saying that you were going to quit, or that you had quit, but maybe I'm just remembering wrong. Or maybe I just misheard or misread. Where's the rest of that handle? There it is. I've also noticed they do this sometimes. You'll see this kind of that little slot right there. Don't know why they do it, but it basically fits right in the middle of the hand, like right there, basically, is where it would go. So, helps to line it up, but don't know why they do that. They did that a long time ago, back in the Legendary and Epic days, mostly Legendary. They would kind of have the hilt of the weapon sort of blended into the hand, which was kind of a weird way of doing it, but it worked. Alright, so that one is 255. Oh, another one that's actually taller than it is long. Than it is wide, I mean. Rare for those. There's that one. Move that over just a titch more. So that one is armor 7. Earth. Did I miss a head? I must have missed a head. I'm going to go back to here really quick, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I must have missed the head, because I moved it over to here. I did. I missed that one. It's the only one I missed, I think. So from here to here. Yeah. Amulet ring. I missed the earth and water, too. Oops. Let me do that really quick. Do that before I move on, because it's going to bug me if I don't have it all consistent. I'll just grab... Oops, that's not the ones I want at all. The ones at the bottom. Head, 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 head. I just missed a few, apparently. I'm just going to copy all those over, just to save myself the trouble. And yes, 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 yes. Oh, apparently I did more than just the one. Okay, so I did actually replace one. Okay, cool. Sorry. Back on track. Little momentary distraction. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm still playing at this point is because I want my accounts to still stay somewhat relevant. This event saved my butt when it comes to Shatter Shield pets because I had a few accounts that I was missing 2 or 3 elements on. Most of them thankfully had them, but at tier 3 at least. But I had a couple of accounts, a couple of minis that I created on accident when swapping accounts that I just wanted to at least get somewhat decent. And I was having a tough time getting those pets. That one also has a missing like lower portion of the chin, so I'm going to have to kind of blend that one in too. But yeah, I had a bunch of accounts that did not have Shatter Shield pets. I had one that actually only had 1 Shatter Shield pet on it, but it was an account that I was just using to hold a GM in my old guild, so I wasn't too concerned about it. And then I realized, well, if I can get pets for free, pretty much, I might as well take advantage. So that account now has 2 tier 3 pets that have Shatter, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, on the ring, I noticed that little insignia right there is exactly the same as what the ring looks like on the edge of that elbow. I just noticed that. It's also on the helmet, of course, too, but you can kind of see it on the shoulder plates right there, and then on the helmet, of course, too. But I didn't notice it at first because I was looking at the weapon, but it's also there. Other people messaging me. I'm going to wait. They're going to have to wait. I'm not going to keep interrupting my stream to answer messages online. Okay. That is right there. Weapon. Oh, zoomed in a bit too far. There we go. Yep, computer's starting to lag pretty heavily right here. Yeah, that's also part of the reason why I've hung around as long as I have, because there have been honestly multiple occasions where I've just wanted to just shut everything down and walk away and just let somebody else pick up the pieces. But there's enough of the community that's positive and helpful and generally just all around good people that it keeps me around. There was a period not that long ago actually where I was seriously debating just shutting everything down and walking away. Closing down line, shutting, basically stop doing the data mine, stop doing stat sheets, stop doing everything. I think I am going to have a break for a little while. I did have one just actually like a month or 2 ago, but I don't think it was long enough and it didn't really help me all that much. Because I came back and I think it's also probably the whole like coronavirus and people being locked down in their houses for weeks on end is probably not helping matters. But I basically just have been on edge, like supremely on edge. 260. And that one's also taller than it is wide. Rarity. I've got 3 of them in the same pack of data. But yeah, I've just been super on edge. Have not been like my normal self for a while now. And I've been trying to like go on walks, go on hikes, kind of get out of the house, do something different for a while. Because I've been locked down pretty much self-isolating since like the first week of March. Yeah, I'm thinking that I definitely will probably take a break. I just don't know how long the break is going to be. I will probably still be doing the data mines and the stat sheets, I would assume, for the time being. I just won't be, like, other than maybe checking in on my accounts once a day, I won't really be around. I may actually even just, like, turn my line notifications off entirely. Because even when I was on my last break, I had people who had changed my display name, that some people refer to it as tagging. They changed my display name to be something other than what it actually was. And so they didn't realize that my name said on break in my name. And they were contacting me, asking me questions and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not even in the game right now. I'm totally like away. I'm not involved at all. And they're like, oh, sorry, I had no idea. I'm like, let me guess, you have my name changed? Oh, yeah, I do. And immediately they're like, oh, yeah, I didn't realize that. Sorry, I won't bug you. I mean, pretty much all of them were like, oh, yeah, sorry, didn't mean to bug you, no problem. So it wasn't like they were like demanding things from me that I wouldn't have normally given them if I wasn't on break. But they just were like, oh, hey, wanted to check with you on this. I'm like, I'm on break right now. Oh, you are? Sorry. And they left me alone. So it wasn't like it was a huge problem and people were harassing me, but it just really kind of depends on, sorry, that was loud. Kind of just depends on the person. I got to be honest, there are some people that I want to reach through the line and just smack them because they're, like, there have been a few people that have contacted me at like 2:30 in the morning, my time. You know, granted, I know people all around the world play this game. I get that. That's not a problem. I have no problem with that at all. But at least be cognizant of other people's time zones. Like, if you know for a fact this person is in the U.S. and you're, say, in Eastern Europe, you know for a fact they're 8 hours at least behind you. So if you're contacting them at, like, say, noon, that's 4 o'clock in the morning, my time. So don't. But there's some people like that. Anyway, I kind of digressed a bit there. But I've had people that they'll message me, and I'll say, hey, just so you're aware, that was at 2:30 in the morning or whatever time it was. Can you please, you know, respect the fact that I sleep and message me when I'm not asleep? Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. 3 weeks later, they message me at 2 o'clock in the morning again. And it's like, did you not listen? Do you just not care? I'm just not really sure how this works. It would be good if people would just understand that. I mean, it's almost gotten to a point where I'm going to have to start telling people, these are my hours. If you contact me outside of these hours, I will not get back to you until I am ready to. Almost like a support department, if you will. Just tell people, if it's not this time, don't expect me to respond at all. Because I am busy with my own life. I have a job. I have a family. And frankly, my job and my family are far more important than a mobile game. And always will be. So if people start bothering me about stuff, I'm just going to have to start blocking people or telling them, you contact me again at this time, I'm just going to block you. I mean, I really don't have any other option. Some people just don't understand it or maybe don't even care. I don't really know. But frankly, I'm just tired of people not respecting that. And I mean, basically, I'm just going to have to set boundaries that this is the way it is. And if you don't like it, don't contact me. And I don't think that's really too out of the question to ask people to be respectful of my time. So anyway, rant over. That's 9, yeah. All right, we're almost done with the armor construction anyway. With the putting together of the armors. This one has some bleed over too. Right, a little bit right there, and a little bit right there at the bottom. I'll show you when I zoom in here. Excuse me. This is what I mentioned earlier with the legendary armors had this a lot. Like right there, there's too much there. And right there, there's just a little bit. And right there, there's just a little bit. So I'll just erase the little bit that's there. It's not that big of a deal, but it's something that hasn't happened until just recently, actually. Just the past maybe 6 months. It didn't really exist at all. And then it just suddenly came back. It's almost like they got a new art team, or they hired back some of the old art team. I don't know. I don't know how that all works. This armor, by the way, has open eyeballs on the Ascended version. It's kind of interesting. This one also has a little bit of bleed over right there. Not a lot, but it'll get covered by the shield anyway, so I'm not sure why I'm concerned. That's also... Well, actually, no, that looks fine. I thought that was a little bit of bleed over there too, but it's just the color. Alright, then we have this humongous, like, drape coming off the legs here. Yeah, it is a cool looking armor. But like, just as an example of like what I dealt with in the past month, the initial cheat sheet that Deca put out had some typos on it, and I wasn't aware of this until after I'd already put the sheets out for the dual element armors. And somebody contacted me and said, hey, just so you're aware, your sheets are wrong. I'm like, well, in what way? Well, the spirit armor is totally wrong. I'm like, oh, okay, good to know. So I checked into it myself, went and got the dual spirit armor on one of my accounts, looked at the set bonus, and it was totally wrong. He sent me screenshots of his set bonus at tier 10, all wrong. I'm like, oh, okay. So I contacted Deca, told him about it, and said, hey, FYI, this one's wrong. Then somebody else contacted me and said that the earth or the dual water armors, the armors beyond tier 10 were all wrong. And it ended up they were actually just mislabeled. So the stats themselves were correct. They were just labeled incorrectly. So I think it was like the earth version was more like air. The water or the fire version was more like earth, that kind of thing. They were just mislabeled. So they still were correct stats. They were just labeled incorrectly. And then I found out also, I think the fire armors, or was it earth? I don't know. One of the other ones also had incorrect stats as well. But it was only on the ones after T10. Everything else was fine. And because I had to wait on that to get fixed, I got 15, maybe 20 PMs from people. Hey, you have the spirit stats yet? Hey, you have the spirit stats yet? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't have them. Are they on KnD Bot? No, then I don't have them. Because literally as soon as I update KnD Bot, they're there. That's what I have. If I haven't updated it, there's nothing there. So, and I would have people messaging me constantly. Do you have the crown one yet? Crown one done yet? Crown one done yet? Crown one done yet? Over and over and over again. I think I got probably, I would venture somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 20 in the first week. They're asking me if I'd done it yet. I'm like, I don't have the time. This was all released while I was at work. And then after I get done from work, and after I get done with the family time and dinner and everything else afterwards, it's like 8:30 my time, and I'm exhausted. Have a long day at work, busy day with grandkids. You know, there are just some days I just don't have the energy to do anything other than just sit down and watch TV or watch a movie or something. Well, that's good. Thank you, Floppy, for doing that. It's just, some people just don't think about that kind of thing, which, I mean, I get that. It's not something that really necessarily crosses your mind on the regular basis, but just try to be cognizant of other people's timetables and their lives and what they have going on outside of the game. That's all I really want people to do. I have a sneeze coming. Sorry. I'm trying to stop it from coming. And here's Starmetal number 2 in 2 months. So the previous one had a very kind of Gundam look to it. This one kind of does too, but not quite as much. But the previous one had a bit like a cross between a Gundam and the Decatron armor. This one kind of looks a bit more Decatron-esque without being really a copy of it. I like this one actually a little bit better than the previous one, excuse me. A little bit better than the previous one. I'm right in the middle of a burp there as I'm talking, sorry. I like this one better, just based on the looks so far. The previous one was cool. It just looked like previous armors we'd already had, and I'm not really a super big fan of that. This one looks more like a machine, like kind of a unique machine. It's not like it reused, you know, something from before. Because the other one looked very Gundam-esque, but also looked like it had Decatron-like parts to it. I don't know. So it looked like it was kind of almost like a combo reskin, like a mix and match reskin, like it used previous components or something. I'm not a big fan of that. Like for the Starmetal armors, they should, in my opinion, always be unique in every way. Oh, it's actually the final Ascended version, so I know it doesn't quite feel like it, but it is. The shield is also like tiny. Very steampunk looking though. Steampunk and robot looking. Yeah, they generally do. I like the steampunk looks of armors, like the Mecha Mallet, hydraulic Mecha Mallet, whatever it was called from forever ago. I like that look, but I also like kind of more just like robot looking, just plain flat out looks like a robot. I like that too. But I also like armors that look like classic knight armors, like what you'd actually see like an actual knight wearing. So I guess it's kind of more of a mixed bag for me. I like a little bit of everything, but if it's going to look like a robot, it should look fully and completely like a robot. Like this one has very much of a robot feel to it. Like, it definitely looks like it could be an actual robot. It's cool looking, though. I like it. All right. Okay, and that one is 254 wide. Another one. Wow, not far off square, though. Only just slightly off square. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand. Well, the some of the armors with like the horns and things on them, like the Bedeviled Windstaff from season 7 or 8, whatever it was, had that massive horn. It got reskinned as the Dual Earth Barkhorn Ancient, I think was the name, but it was a Dual Earth fusion before they switched to dual element exclusives. This one doesn't look as much like a what do you call it? Sorry, I'm having brain cramp. Is it 9? No. Oh, sorry, I only have one left. Derp. Some of them just don't have that large, kind of horn on them. Some of them are smaller. Unicorn armor, some people call them, like the Celesticorn Bulwark. They just look... Whoops. There we go. Okay. This one, I don't know what the plan is for this one. There's one too many armors in here. Well, two too many, technically. There should normally only be 10 armors, at most, in a given month, unless there's an event of some kind happening. But this one looks very summery to me. So maybe it's some kind of summer event. I have no idea. Because they usually, the last several months, they've had an event every other month. And since the Decaversary started in June, this would be August, so it'd be 2 months later. I don't know, just a guess. I don't know what's going on with this armor. That, like inflatable duck wrapped around with sunglasses on just cracks me up. And then it looking like it has goggles and, like, a snorkel and a big, like, cocktail drink coming out of the head. Goofy. It's goofy to me. Don't get me wrong, it's a cool looking armor in its own way, but it looks goofy. And I did not worry about the blending on that arm over there because I knew I'm going to be covering it up. But I am going to fix that knuckle, even though I know it's going to be covered up too. So there's that armor. Now the shields... Okay, this is the shield. Okay. I thought this was the right one. I always try to grab the one that's the one where they would just be standing before battle, not the one in battle. So this one is going to go more or less like that. And the weapon looks like an umbrella. Like those big collapsible patio umbrellas, but collapsed instead of being out. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Rubber duck rampage. Right? It's a goofy looking armor. I like it in its own way again, but it's just goofy looking. One of those weird ones that's like, whose idea was that? I mean, maybe the art team's just having a field day and just doing something goofy and fun, but it's definitely out of the ordinary, for sure. And I'm sure my PMs will be blowing up for the next 3 hours after I finish this. People are going to be freaking out, talking about that Dual Earth being a reskin, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, that's one of the messages I got online. I actually looked at it briefly. Because I have Line for PC and it pops up on my monitor over here, which is actually... When I'm looking at the camera, I'm pointing this way, but it's actually that way. When I put my finger like this, it's actually where the monitor is. Anyway. I'm doing all the work over here. There, and then monitor where I have like all the other chats and stuff is over there. So for you, for me it's reversed. I don't know, messes with me. Yeah, sorry, I just read that floppy. Yeah, it's unfortunately, I should say unfortunately, but fortunately and unfortunately for me, I have what I like to refer to as an index brain, where if it's something that I have seen or read more than 3 or 4 times, it's stuck. It's in my head. I'm never getting rid of it. Actually, I can undo that. Let me do that 265. It's just that's the way my brain works. For some reason, and especially with numbers, I get a number in my head or something like that, and it's stuck there. It's never going away. Don't know why it is. Like I can remember like the names of armors from 20 seasons ago, and I don't have any real need to, but I do anyway. So that one is the final one, so that's armor 12. Okay, let's close that down. Let me go book over my other screen here for a moment. Is it this one? That's about the right width. That's one I need to work on. That's season 45. So let me see. That's going to be 1600 wide. Okay. New. I'm going to go with the same height and the same width. So we're going to delete all that. Oops. Oh, what I meant to do. Right there. There we go. Okay. So there. Down to about... Oop, slow down there, Turbo. Right there. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to here. And let's see. Give me 1 second here. Trying to find something. I just dropped something on the floor. 1 second. Did I not drop it on the floor? Have I just misplaced it? Oh, it's right here. Pencil. Yeah, I'm gonna write something down. It's just sitting on my desk underneath the pad of paper I was just looking at. Okay, anyway, back to it. Yeah, I started... I'm trying to think of when it was. It was June or July of 2014. So this month is 6 years for me. Of course, that was mostly global. I started on global originally. But I did move over to EU. I've been on EU now for, I think, 2.5 years, something like that. 2 years? I don't remember. Somewhere in that range, anyway. It's funny to see these two armors side by side. The height is actually the same. The eyes meet right there, same general vicinity. But this one is just so much bigger. It makes this one look tiny by comparison, even though it's not small. And this one is also the same. It's like looks tiny by comparison. Hope I have enough room on this thing for all these armors. No, I think I'll be okay. Well, maybe not. Not sure. Crap. We have to rearrange. Yeah, I started on EU. I think they were in season 7, I think, of the Dragonforged on EU when I started, something like that. It was fairly early on. It was, I mean, Dragonforged were still in the Armor Smith, and that I don't think they'd even done the elite ones yet. But yeah, it was a while ago. But I was far more active on EU than I was on global for a while there, just simply because it was so much easier to get stronger on EU. And I just was like, why would I even bother with global? This is so much easier and so much more enjoyable. So I just kind of let global sort of fall by the wayside for a few weeks there. And I went from being a brand new user, brand new account on EU to being the Sentinel in my guild, because I was the second strongest behind the GM, because I had so many Dragonforged armors. And then when they synced everything up, my EU account got dramatically worse, because my fusion, like when you could fuse the seasonal Dragonforged into Shadowforged, my luck was crap, and I kept getting the same armors over and over again. And I just figured, oh well, I'll just keep playing because it's fun, but I'm just not going to get strong like I have been before now. I'll just have to stay where I'm at, basically. Okay, armor 6. Is this going to fit? Only just. Oh crap, I'm going to have to move that down here. I'm going to have to make myself my own little circle around this thing to make sure it actually fits. Because if I don't, it won't fit. It's right up on the edge there. There we go. That's better. I didn't think I'd still be playing either, to be honest. You know, it's 6 years as of this month, I think. It was either late June or early July, so right around now, 6 years ago is when I started playing. My first epic boss was, I think, Cthulhu, but I never actually fought Cthulhu. It was Hastra, I think, was right immediately afterwards, and Hastra I actually fought a couple of times. But I was so weak, I didn't do much damage. I think I only got to like level 3 or level 4, something like that, because I just didn't have any good armors. My luck was not great, and I did not do well initially. My first probably 3 months, I just didn't do well at all. I joined the first guild I found, only because it happened to have open spots, and that was actually the guild that I stayed in until I think I was in that guild for hell 3 years almost. And then the guildmaster retired, fused away all of his. I mean, he literally, he like fully and completely shut down. He fused away all of his armors, smelted everything he could, and then dumped all the money into the guild bank. Right? And then he just said, "I'm off. See you guys. Good luck." And because I was the second most senior member of the guild, I'd been there the longest, behind the current guild sentinel, he gave the guild to me. I still have it. Okay. There we go. So there's our armors. Let me do the ring and amulet sets now. I'm going to zoom in a bit for these because these are a little bit easier to do when they're zoomed in. I'm actually going to do this in its own layer. That way I can go right over the top. It doesn't hurt anything. Sorry for those watching. We're just chatting about the old days of when we played in guilds and stuff back in the day. So my first, like I said, my first guild was, I still have. It's just me in there now. The guild has been unused for 2 years, something like that. I have just an alt in there holding GM. I've actually created more accounts to hold GM than I've created anything else, to be honest. I've created a couple on accident, but most of them I created specifically so I'd have an alternate account that I could use to hold GM and an account for, or a guild for somebody who was moving around or whatever. And then eventually they just kind of stayed there. So I have 3 guilds on global that are at present unused. I just have an alt in them. And I have a guild on EU that's fully maxed. It's just me in there. And I have another guild that I'm kind of the standing GM right now because the current GM is on a break. She might be coming back, I'm not sure, but for now she's still on a break. It's kind of close quarters on that one. I should have moved the amulet over farther, but there's just not much room right there. I'm going to move those both over, actually. Just a little too close. Yeah, that works. Okay. So I have one of the guilds, one of my extra guilds that I had on EU, I actually ended up giving to an old friend and just said, here, you can have it. Because I wasn't using it, I had just an alternate in there and just was kind of, you know, I do like raids. I didn't do really much of anything else. And I ended up moving that account over to the guild I'm in now and just said, here, you can have it. I think it was 350 million away from maxed bonuses, fully maxed otherwise. Orange Peel Gang. I think I remember you talking about that in the Leaks chat ages ago. You were laughing. We were all laughing about it. Orange Peel Gang. Why did you pick that name? But yeah, I think I remember you talking about that. It was pretty funny at the time. I think you were asking us for your input on what we thought would be good guild names or something like that, if memory serves me right. It's been a while, though. Not 100% sure on that now. My alt tab is not alt tabbing. I'm trying to alt tab between windows and it's just not moving like I'm expecting it to. And here we have the, I'm going to say it now, temporary Earth exclusive, because I don't think they're going to keep this. Pretty sure they're not. Yeah, it's been a while ago, Floppy. I'm not sure at this point, but I remember it being mentioned at least. And we were talking about it and kind of laughing about, like, why did you pick that name? But I don't remember if you'd already picked the name or if we were discussing it and you hadn't picked the name yet. Something like that. I don't remember now, but it's been long enough ago that the details are fuzzy. But yeah, it was funny at the time. I remember that much. Okay, we are almost done with this portion anyway. I'm not even going to do the exclusive with the cape behind it. I normally do that. I started doing that just a few months ago. I'm not going to do it this time around because I don't think that armor is going to stay as the exclusive, so I'm not going to do it with that one. I may end up doing it actually with the one of the other ones, like maybe this one here instead. I don't know. Kind of still debating on that myself. Okay, so there we are. So let me give you my predictions really quick for those of you who don't want to hang out here forever. Earth and fire at the start. This is going to be a war most likely. Second is a raid. Third is a seasonal, I think. Is that right? Or is that fusion? I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's right. We did talk about orange peels and you decided to change it to orange peel gang. Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Thanks for the flashback. That's been a long time ago. All right. So, trying to think here. Earth, air. Yeah, Earth, air would have been the original exclusive. So this is going to be fusion probably then, I would guess. I'm trying to think. Because it would have been water, air, then air, earth, then earth. Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, I'm just trying to think of the cycle. So this is probably going to be fusion, I would assume. And then this one here is going to be probably another war. Earth fire is going to be seasonal. Earth spirit is probably going to be seasonal. Earth air is raid. Earth water, seasonal. Dual earth, which of course is exclusive, but I think it's going to be a different armor. This is earth water. This is also a raid, which is weird. Starmetal, no idea. Earth spirit, no idea. So your guess is as good as mine on the last two. So I just don't know why there's these three armors here. Just don't make sense to me. The earth water, the Starmetal, and then the earth spirit. I don't know what they're for. I don't know where they're supposed to go or what's going on with them. So that's that. Let me go out to my other window here and we're going to grab the elements and start doing those really quick. Let's do water first. So water was 8 and 10. That's right. Okay, so 8 is right here. And 10. Whoa, slow down there, Turbo. Right there. Okay. Now we have spirit. So there's 4 of those puppies. Which seems extreme to me. Earth spirit there. Earth spirit there. Trying to get these in the same rough vicinity of the feet. Earth spirit there. Earth spirit there. Right about there. There we go. Now we're going to do fire. That's this one here. And this one, whoop, here. There we go. Then we have air, which is this one here. And this one here. Okay. The rest is earth. Earth's one of those funky elements that's just a little bit taller than the rest, so it doesn't quite line up like you like it to. Maybe that's just me. Oh, I didn't do Starmetal. Whoops. Oh, crap. Get back up there. Stop doing that to me. One of the drawbacks to this application is if you drag something off the screen, it wants to follow all the way down. So it's kind of annoying when that happens. Come on, zoom in. There we go. Earth. There. And dual Earth. Right there. We get the Starmetal. And I'm assuming, based on previous, this is going to be a dual as well. Okay, there we go. Let me quickly save that. Before I move on. Okay. Reskin Shade Flame. Which one are you talking about? There isn't a Shade Flame in here. Unless you're talking about this guy here, which is the white for alpha. You're talking about the... I'm trying to think of which one you're talking about, because there's one, two... Are you talking about the Shadeburn Scimitar? The one that was the exclusive forever ago? There's a delay, so I'm waiting for you to respond. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Shadeburn Scimitar. I kind of like the look of that one, too. I do like the original one better, though. I initially thought because of the original armor was a lot like this guy over here on the far right, this Earth and Spirit. It has so many different colors in it that I thought maybe it was Starmetal initially, because I looked at it and I'm like, why is that so different than any of the other ones? It's because it was the exclusive. It was actually the Shadeburn Scimitar might have been one of the first exclusives, but I remember looking at it going, what is this? So I do like the look of it too, to be clear. Okay, let's do our little text boxes. Let's go from about here to about, oops, I forgot I got something selected. Unselect first, please, thank you. I'm thinking that might be about the right size, but I'm not positive. I tend to underdo it or overdo it. It'd help if I pick the right text here first, right font. And let's do 26, I think. Oh, I way overdid that one, holy crap. Let's do 28, just to make it a little bit easier to fix. Because holy crap, I made that way too big. Okay, we're going to fix this right now. I'll just delete the excess. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now, let's get the crafting materials over here. And again, I don't know which one's which. I'm just going to put them down here because I'm not sure. Okay. Right about like so. And then I just got to make sure that this whole thing right here is centered. Whoops, I almost cut the edge of that off. I wasn't even close to being centered. Holy crap. That should be much better. Yeah, much better. Okay, there we go. Actually, just right about there is good. Okay, good. Alright, let me save that again just to be sure. Now, we're going to move on to doing pets and all the other fun stuff. So we're going to do pet tier 1. Groot. I am Groot. Definitely has a very Groot feel to it, for sure. Fun fact for those of you who might not have known, the guy who did the voice of Groot, which was Vin Diesel, which most people probably know, learned how to say "I am Groot" in every language, so he could actually do the original voice of Groot in every language. So in English it was him, Spanish, French, German, every one of them was him. It was still Vin Diesel, but he was doing it in the language that it was being translated into, so he didn't have to worry about somebody doing the voiceover work and screwing it up, because it was him doing it regardless. So it's interesting, yeah. So something I found out actually about it is that he did the voice of Groot in every language that movie was translated into, including Spanish. I said Spanish, including Japanese, all the other languages. Every language he did it. I am Groot. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, this bottom is way too big. I don't need this much room, but that's okay. I can always chop it off. Okay, now we're gonna do pets. That right there should be good. Yep, pretty much where I wanted it. Now we're going to do bosses. I do have 3 of them, which I did not move over here. Or did I? No, I did. Never mind. Okay. It's actually good I made this a little bit bigger, because now I can put the bosses in here. Instead of 1 here and 1 here, I can do 1, 2, 3. And I can shift them around if I need to. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so I can kind of line these up. There's 1. Stop it, you dumb thing. Stop doing the Alt-Tab when I want you to do the Alt-Tab. I'm probably going to end up moving these, but I want to just get them positioned more or less where they need to be. And there's our funky earth water boss. I don't know why. That looks pretty good right there. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to take all of them, move them over to about good. Okay. So now I'm going to put the elements below them this time instead of on the sides, because I didn't really give myself the room for the sides, but that's okay. Let's go back to my element folder. I don't know why I still have that open. Oops. Let's go back to here. Do earth. Right about there. Trying to get these in the same general vicinity of each other. And also in the same relative position compared to the circles. The avatars, whatever you want to call them. Okay, now we've got spirit, which is right here. I'm probably going to end up moving these, but I want to just at least get them into position where they need to be in the rough vicinity. See how that looks. That actually looks pretty good. I may have moved the earth and spirit over just a hair. It's just a little bit off kilter. And the earth air is also, now that I look at it. Pretty good to me. Okay. Let me do another save just so I don't mess myself up. And now I'm going to do the cape, which is in here. I may just throw the cape in here and just be done with it. I'm not going to spend that much time on this, because all I got to do now is just put bosses below here, cape right there, and then be done with that portion. Okay, so cape is done. No rings, or no chests, no keys. Yep, that's it. Cool. Alright, let me do this one. I may not have made that box big enough. Oh, it's actually pretty good. Never mind. Never mind. Alright. There's that. So now, save that. And quickly go back to the background and make myself a new layer back here in the back. Fill that in. Ta-da! There we are. So, as I said originally, so this is kind of my predictions. I'll update KnD Bot with this as well. So Earth and Fire, War, Raid, Fusion. Probably War. Seasonal. Seasonal. Raid. Seasonal. Exclusive, which is going to most likely change. Raid. No idea. No idea. So I don't know. Again, these bottom three I'm not sure about. I really don't know what to do with them. I can say I am Grit in multiple different languages. That's pretty cool, honestly. Actually, if you look up Vin Diesel's profile, I think it actually says that in the trivia section under his profile on IMDb. And it was a huge amount of languages, too. It wasn't like just like 10 or 12. It was like 50 or something crazy like that. It was huge. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to add in my usual text here, so give me just a second to do that. Actually, I'm going to put the season 48. I'm going to move you in there. Actually, before I do that, let me escape. Let me undo that. Go check my previous ones really quick just to see. That's what I thought. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay. Season 48, Earth. Put you right about there. Make it glow a bit so it's a little bit more kind of grabs your attention. There we go. And we'll go over here to the right. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to shorten this up. So where are we at here? About 1070-ish? $1075 it is. There we go. Much better. Ice Tea, welcome. Good to see you. Let me put my usual text here at the bottom. I actually may end up moving this over just a little bit, because if I do end up getting an updated armor for the dual Earth, I'm going to fix that over here and put it up to the right of it, right there. Well, we're not. That's what I'm not sure about. There's 3 raid armors, yes, but I just don't know if there's 3 raids. If there's 3 regular raids or if it's something else entirely. I hate when it does this. It pisses me off. I don't know, it's something with paint.net. Just for some reason, if you're typing in that bottom right corner, it shifts everything around and gets all jerky. It drives me nuts. Finger, stop it. Can't tell, is that a period or a comma? It was a comma. Okay. I'm going to move this up just a hair so it's not right in the bottom corner. And then if I do get an updated dual Earth right there, that guy, I will of course update this, and I'll probably plug in the dual Earth armor with the cape behind it over here somewhere. But I just don't have anything newer at this point, so I'm not really going to do much yet. So, we zoom in here, drop this down to 24. So this one is second armor, first row. First row, second armor. This one is second row, first armor. Oops. My fingers, again, like I mentioned earlier on, for those of you who weren't here at the time, I did that. You can see it or not. Those are stitches. I chopped my fingers a little, not quite 2 weeks ago, and they're mostly healed now, but it's still messing with my typing. I just can't type quite as well with those fingers. So, all right, this one is Earth and Water. That one is second row, fourth armor. Okay. My fingers just are not quite back up to snuff since then. I'll make sure those kind of line up with each other. Looks pretty good. Okay. And there we are. That's it. All done. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, upload it to KnD Bot with my predictions, the usual spiel. But for now, I'm going to leave this whole section over here blank because I think eventually I'm going to end up getting an updated armor to replace this guy. And I'll place it over here with the cape on the back of it. So, but for now, that's it. One final time. War, raid, fusion, war, seasonal, seasonal, raid, seasonal, exclusive, no idea, no idea, no idea. This one is a raid, of course, but I just don't know where it's going to fit in because we only have 2 weekends with raids. So I don't know what to do with it. That's it for now. So thanks everyone for joining in. Yeah, I know. I do need them because I work on a computer. So I kind of need to be able to type. But yeah, there's 9 stitches here and 4 stitches there. So this one, the blade went across this finger twice, and this finger just once on the same time this one went across there. So 13 stitches. Not a lot of fun. So let me go ahead and save this. And as usual, like I said, I'll put this up on KnD Bot and share it in chats and the usual stuff. So if anybody has any questions beyond that, let me know. But it is currently about 20 minutes after 10 right now. So if you PM me much after about an hour and a half from now, I'm going to be asleep. So please don't. Thanks, guys. And I will talk to you in about a month. I'll update the sheet, of course, on my own time. But that's it. Thanks, guys.